Black Lives Matter. We hear that a lot in the news. We hear about it ever something comes up. It's a tragedy. Someone gets shot by police, or something happens in the black neighborhood, and no one seems to care about it. And they say Black Lives Matter. It's like a cry, a battle cry, pleading to say, you know what, look at me. Well, don't hurt me. Consider me as being someone who matters. Black Lives Matter. But you know what? Every race feels that way. Whites, Asians, Hispanics, they all feel that their lives matter. But we have an obligation, because we are the only race on this continent that was not invited but forced to come here. You know, the slave trades of hundreds of years ago. People came here from all parts of Africa, and in parts, even the islands, where there were blacks. They were brought in to be slaves. Just to say, slaves were brought in. They were pulled in on ships and made to work as slaves. And they didn't matter. They were property. And once they were given their freedom, they were still subject to being persecuted and ridiculed and put into their place, because their lives really didn't matter. Now, if you think about it, this country was built on the backs of workers, slaves, people who came here with the idea of making their life better, and through hard work did something. And there's a list. If you go on the internet, you'll see a list of things that blacks invented, like transmissions and irons and shoelaces and elevators and stoplights, and the list goes on, because these people were workers and they wanted to make their work life better and their fun life better. And the rodeos were invented by blacks, so they call them cowboys. They were boys, you know. It was a derogatory term, but it mattered to them that they made their life better for themselves and for those who are coming. As we go through the 60s, we see things happening. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, and it goes on and on. But now we get to the 2000s, and we see people walking around with their pants sagging, not caring about their appearance, not caring how they talk, playing music, and they're swearing. And what happened to the poets and the teachers and the preachers and the inventors? They're still there. And if Black Lives Matter, then it behooves us. We are obligated to make sure that our lives as black people matter, not just to the world, but to us. So I'm saying to you, when you get up in the morning, you should spend time making sure that your life means something. Study, learn, teach, and demand of yourself better, greater, stronger every single day. Because yes, Black Lives Matter, but does it matter to you? Does it matter to you? When you see someone walking down the street and he's another black man, there was a time when you would never see a black man hurting a black man, because Black Lives Mattered. Nowadays, what's up? You know, we get into struggles, we get into fights. Even people who are friends kill each other. Or you go into a neighborhood and it's like, you know, a gang initiation is taking place, and they go to a black neighborhood to do the gang initiation, because black lives don't matter. People go for jobs and they don't know how to act, because to themselves they don't matter. But you must look at yourself as being someone who is so special, who is so needed, who is so vital, that every day your life matters. Now, education is important. And I think about myself when I was 16. I moved to Canada with the family, and I wasn't a good student, so I chose to drop out. I took the chance to settle back and try to live a life of a man without having the abilities. And so I had to learn a lot of stuff in Canada. I had to learn to speak French. I had to learn to read again, to write, and just to be a man. Because see, You matter as long as you can contribute. When you go out into the world and you get a job, yeah, you matter. But if you can't show up and show off, then you're going to be shown the door. And if you think about it, when you go into a job, a lot of times, especially when I was working back in the day, I was one of the very few blacks in the company. So if there was like maybe 2 blacks in the entire floor, and both of those guys were not good employees, then they can say 100% of their blacks are no good. That's how they look at percentages. If one was good, one was bad, they say, well, 50% of our black employees are doing fine. If both are bad, or if no one, really mattered to themselves, and then they will say, we don't want to hire these kind of people because they don't matter to themselves. So you matter to yourself. You have to make sure every day you matter to yourself. It's how you dress, it's how you talk, it's how you start your day. Do you start your day every day with exercise? Do you start your day every day by prayer and meditation, getting your mind ready, getting yourself ready to go out into the world because you matter? When you meet a woman, when you meet a woman, do you treat her like she's someone who you could possibly marry one day? Because the people who you tend to date are the people you tend to marry. So that should matter. The kind of person who you're with, the way you speak. Does it matter if you use profanity or don't use proper English? It should matter. It matters. Your life matters. And so, what I'm saying to you is that the one thing that we have in common with every race is that we're all striving to move forward. But it has to be done in a stronger way because black people, for some reason, have lost the connection with each other that other races have. You see the Italians, and you'll see the Indians, and you'll see the Hispanics, and they tend to get along with each other. They might not get along with others, but they get along with each other. But not us. We don't get along with ourselves. So if the Black Lives Matter, they should matter to you. They should matter to us all. And so, what do? We stand out. We show ourselves to be better. We show ourselves to be stronger. We show ourselves to be hungrier. When the black man steps up to the plate, he's going to hit a home run. He's got to, because as far as the white man is concerned, the second he steps on the plate, he already has 1 strikeout. He's got to hit a home run. That's why Obama, he can't be like anyone else. He can't be crazy and making a whole lot of... he couldn't be like Trump. Couldn't say what he wants to say and just do anything he wants to do. No, he's got to show himself to be someone who is serious and being able to being resolute and reserved and being patient and thinking before he speaks. Because he realizes that if he's the first one, he doesn't want to be the last one. Okay? And that's the important thing. You may want to be the first one, but you don't want to be the last one. Okay? Again, you may want to be the first one, but you don't want to be the last one. So you go for a job, and you say, I'm going to go to this company, and I'm going to be the first CEO of this company, or I'm going to be the first head coach of this team, or I'm going to be the first mayor of this city who's black. And you may want to be the first one, but you don't want to be the last one, because Black Lives Matter. Okay? So I'm telling you right now, your life matters. And when you go out into the world and you see yourself as being someone special because you've studied, and you've exercised, and you've prepared, and you've done all you can do, you may want to be the first one, but you don't want to be the last one, because Black Lives Matter. Thank you. You matter.